feel like the school system should nix pajama day. I don't feel like pajama day is appropriate for the school system. I feel like they should have professional day. I feel like if the school system is supposed to be preparing the children for the real world and work to, incorporate them into the corporate world. Y'all, the sun is out. Ooh, I had to give me some.
Beloved 58-year-old Stephanie McBride was more than just the matriarch of her family. She was a pillar in her community. Those who knew her best described her as a sweet, giving, and nurturing soul. Whether she was spending quality time with her 4 adult children and grandchildren, enjoying game nights, watching movies, or cooking meals for her loved ones, Stephanie brought warmth and care to every space she entered. A natural-born caretaker, she dedicated herself to looking after her elderly mother, her closest companion, until her mother's passing in January 2022.
I want some meat. You want some more meat? You don't want no meat, you just fed the dog your meat. I couldn't eat that hard. I ain't got no dog cheese and I can't. You better eat that toast. I better not see you feeding that dog that toast. You better go take that in out there. It's so cold. Okay.
Her greatest joy in life, however, was being a mother to her 2 sons and 2 daughters. Among them was her oldest, 39-year-old Britney Shields, a military veteran who once served her country with honor.
And I don't know who needs to hear this, but being gay is a trauma response. Something happened to you, and you looking for validation from the same sex. Either it wasn't given to you, or it was taken away from you. So you turn to the same sex for attraction and love and emotional feeling to find that validation. And that's why you're gay. It's a trauma response. You wasn't born that way.
Britney was stationed in Barstow, California, Fairbanks, Alaska, Kandahar, Afghanistan, and Busan, South Korea. After her years of service, she returned home as a disabled veteran and transitioned into civilian life, eventually building a career in real estate and becoming a tax professional. Always driven by a spirit of entrepreneurship, Britney launched a side hustle designing hats and opened her own online boutique. In 2019, Britney became a mother to her first child, a son, with her then boyfriend. The following year, they welcomed a second son. Outwardly, she appeared to be thriving, building a life, a business, and a family. But somewhere along the way, something shifted. Those close to her began noticing changes in her behavior. She became increasingly unstable and unpredictable. Her social media presence grew concerning, as her posts turned more erratic and her thoughts more disjointed. In August 2024, Britney was arrested on domestic violence charges involving a family member. At the time, it was unclear whether she retained custody of her young sons. Britney's online behavior took a darker turn. In a chilling live stream, she said, "F it, let me into the bad side. All on the live too, I can do it." She also posted a disturbing message that read, "United States of Murdering. If you can't beat them, join them. They're not going to get mad if you do what they do. You'll be a part of their team." Lastly, she stated, "I'll be the new Jeffrey Dahmer." I thought he was cool. It was heartbreakingly clear that Britney was spiraling, with dangerous and possibly delusional thoughts consuming her mind. Little did anyone know, things were about to take a dark and sinister turn, one that no one could have anticipated. What followed would leave those who knew and loved them stunned, heartbroken, and searching for answers in the aftermath of an unthinkable tragedy. Just after 5 in the evening on March 31st, Rockdale police responded to a 911 call reporting a deceased woman inside a residence on the 600 block of Rice Street near East Belton Avenue. When officers arrived at the scene and entered the home, they discovered an unresponsive adult female lying inside, marking the beginning of a disturbing and heartbreaking investigation. The victim was identified as 58-year-old Stephanie McBride, who was tragically pronounced dead at the scene after succumbing to multiple gunshot wounds, just weeks shy of celebrating her 59th birthday. Stephanie wasn't just a mother, but a beloved figure in her community, someone known for her warmth, generosity, and unwavering love for her family. Her sudden and violent death sent shockwaves through the town of Rockdale, where she had long been considered a pillar of strength and compassion. As investigators processed the scene, they quickly gathered enough evidence to secure an arrest warrant for Stephanie's own daughter, 39-year-old Britney Deshae Shields. Authorities describe Britney as the lone actor in what has now been deemed a heartbreaking act of familial violence. With help from Stephanie's concerned relatives, the Texas Department of Public Safety Criminal Investigations Division, Texas Highway Patrol, and the Austin Police Department, Britney was located at her residence in Austin and taken into custody without incident. Just a day prior, on March 30th, an Amber Alert had been issued for Britney's 2 young children. Thankfully, the children were found unharmed and in Britney's care at the time of her arrest. The alert was soon canceled after their safe recovery. As the McBride family and the Rockdale community mourn a woman described as the glue that held everyone together, the question remains, how could something like this happen, especially to someone like Stephanie? What could have possibly triggered a daughter to take the life of her own mother? Was there long-standing tension between them that eventually erupted? Did Britney's mental health spiral out of control until it reached a breaking point? Were there red flags that had been overlooked? Her former military service has also raised questions about whether unaddressed post-traumatic stress disorder or trauma may have contributed to her mental decline. Sadly, only Britney knows the true reasons, and whether she will ever choose to speak on them is still unknown. In the days following the arrest, a revealing post from Britney's ex-boyfriend surfaced, offering a glimpse into her troubled mental state and the challenges he faced during their relationship. However, it's important to also acknowledge that some family members allege the same ex-boyfriend had previously been physically abusive toward Britney, a detail that complicates the narrative. In his now viral post, he wrote, "Killing your mother, Britney Deshae Shields, my ex-girlfriend. Wow. I can honestly say she was one of the most unpredictable and unstable people I've ever been around. Looking back, I never truly felt safe because her mood swings were extreme and her behavior was often erratic and completely unpredictable. I always had a gut feeling that something was off. Based on what I experienced, I wouldn't be surprised if she had bipolar disorder or a personality disorder, but I'm not a doctor, so I can't diagnose her. What I do know is that dealing with her was emotionally and mentally exhausting. One moment, everything seemed fine, and the next, she would explode over the smallest things, creating chaos out of nowhere. Honestly, I feel like I dodged a bullet, both figuratively and, given the situation, maybe even literally. Hearing that she's now facing a murder charge doesn't shock me at all. I hate to say it, but this was the path she was heading down. I just thank God I got out when I did." The post was met with heavy backlash, particularly from those who loved and respected Stephanie. Many felt that the ex was capitalizing on tragedy, and they called for him to keep the family's name out of his mouth, especially during such a sensitive and heartbreaking time. As of now, investigators have not publicly released a motive behind the killing. Rockdale Police Chief John Davis stated that this appears to be an isolated incident with no ongoing threat to public safety. Stephanie's remaining children are now left to grapple not only with the loss of their mother, but with the unimaginable reality that their own sister is accused of taking her life. Many have chosen to stay off social media, asking for privacy and prayer as they attempt to make sense of something that may never have clear answers.
Tonight at 9, a homicide, an Amber Alert, and a capital murder arrest rocking a small Central Texas town.
Police have arrested an Austin woman investigators believe killed her mother in Rockdale, with the suspect's 2 young children there when it happened. KXAN's Brianna Hollis spoke with the police chief and has more on this case tonight.
Anytime a tragedy like this occurs in a family, it's very destructive.
A murder investigation in the city of Rockdale. On Monday, around 5 p.m., police found 58-year-old Stephanie McBride dead in her home on Rice Street on the city's northeast side.
had obviously suffered multiple gunshot wounds.
We drove down the street McBride's home is on, and we ran into some people who appeared to be friends and family. They didn't want to speak with us at the moment, but the police chief said, given what he gathered both on the scene and on social media, McBride was a fixture in this community.
It's very apparent that she had touched many lives in the community. She was very loved.
The suspect, Britney Shields, the victim's daughter. Security cameras at the Rice Street home revealing a chilling detail.
The suspect leaving the scene with 2 small children, which, in speaking with family members, we knew those were her children. Obviously, with the severity of the crime, we felt that the children's safety were in danger.
This prompted an Amber Alert, which was discontinued once the children were found safe. Chief Jerry Metters says Shields took her mom's phone from the Rockdale house, and that's how investigators tracked her to Austin.
We obtained an arrest warrant for capital murder. Shields ultimately gave us a full confession.
Brianna.
The heartbreaking story of Stephanie McBride and her daughter Britney Deshae Shields reveals a powerful and painful lesson about the importance of mental health awareness, early intervention, and the hidden struggles that can exist within families. 39-year-old Britney Shields was arrested and charged with capital murder in connection with the shooting and remains in the Travis County Jail. Britney's 2 children remain in the care of family members. Not only have they lost a grandmother, but also a mother. While it's still too early to know how the legal process will unfold, what is certain is that this case is far from simple. It's a painful mix of tragedy, mental illness, unresolved trauma, and unanswered questions. All centered around a woman who gave everything to her children, only to have her life cut short in the most heartbreaking way imaginable. It's a reminder that violence can stem from within families, and communities must prioritize mental health to prevent such tragedies.